Our Favorite Tools for Entrepreneurs podcast will address tools that are useful for startups and existing businesses. We will also cover other aspects of the launch and growth of entrepreneurial ventures. Your two hosts will be Professor Gary Palin and serial entrepreneur Ryan Budden. I am Professor Gary Palin.
Yeah, and I'm Ryan Budden.
This podcast is valuable to entrepreneurs in both launch and growth modes.
That's absolutely right. We'll go over some tools, get you into hyper-growth mode. How can we see some hockey stick growth in your business? Good morning, Professor Palin.
How are you doing today?
Good. Look, we've got a really exciting episode today. We've spent a lot of time talking about, how to do things, different topics on entrepreneurship. And today we're going to talk about something we're actually doing and share that with the community, see what they like, see what they don't like. So sort of practice what we're preaching here.
Well, that's excellent. So tell me a little about it from your perspective.
Yeah. So there's a growing field of entrepreneurship tendencies. So the study of entrepreneurship, what makes someone more entrepreneurial, what makes someone less entrepreneurial, and how you actually break that down. So our one and only Professor Palin has been working on this for many, many years, and he's been one of the main contributors internationally to the field of entrepreneurship and the study behind it. And he's taken his expertise, and I've sort of partnered up with him to bring it into the 21st century. And we've created a survey called the Janus Assessment to test 7 different levels of entrepreneurial tendencies and actually get a score out of it. So people can use this as an introspective tool on where they are entrepreneurial, where they're not, if that sits well with their desired profession, and what they can work on. So we're really excited to get some feedback, get some repetitions under it, and see how we can continue to develop it.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this also, and it's based on my interest in the concept you referred to as entrepreneurial orientation. And there's been 3 to 4 decades of research on the concept, and we looked at it from 7 different scales of entrepreneurship. The origins of it I found fascinating to me because continually I heard employers asking me or telling me they want to hire entrepreneurial-minded graduates, or that they do hire entrepreneurial-minded individuals. And I asked them, I said, well, how do you know they're entrepreneurial? And all honesty, the answers were terrible. It would be, well, during the interview process, did they have a lemonade stand when they were a kid? Did they mow lawns?
Yeah.
And first of all, that's not a good measurement, but also it's very time-consuming and clunky one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So I was interested in the personality profile type of assessments that have existed for years, like Myers-Briggs or DISC. So I started looking for one that could measure entrepreneurial tendencies, and it didn't exist. So therefore, I decided to create one.
Yeah, and now we've digitalized it, got it automated, so people can truly take this assessment and immediately get responses from it, so they can take the insights out of it.
Yeah, and it will measure issues like autonomy, your acceptance of ambiguity, your proactiveness. And again, there are 7, and it gives a distinct measurement. And the number that someone will be receiving when taking this assessment is in comparison to actual entrepreneurs that we've had taken the assessment. So it's a comparative analysis.
That's exactly right. And you have used your impressive network to get people all across the entrepreneurial scale, from true entrepreneurs that have launched multiple ventures and will continue doing so, perceivably for the rest of their life, all the way to newly graduated college students. So people that have never gotten into the field and represent a diverse background through that.
Yeah, we've had well over 500 very successful entrepreneurs take the assessment as our core model. And as we continue to develop it, that number will grow. But it's a really good baseline to determine where you are on specific important scales of entrepreneurship. And one of the important things to understand is there's no right or wrong. There is no bad answer. It tells you what are your strengths, what areas do you need to offset. Say, for example, when forming a team, it can be very useful.
Yeah, that's one of the really big insights that when we first started talking about this, you made really apparent. That not everybody should be looking for a high score in all 7 categories. And I'm trying to think back. I think the example you gave me was somebody working in a bank. Yeah, you still want to be entrepreneurial. You still want to push the bounds, create innovative processes, get in contact with customers and consumers in new and innovative ways. but there's some risk tolerance. You don't want to be risky with other people's financials. So maybe they rank highly on some categories and they really want to rank super low on one of the other categories.
Yeah, and to follow with that example, which you're correct, I looked at banks. If I'm driving a bank and I want to form a team, and I say a team of 5 people, I don't want 5 people that are very high risk takers.
Right, exactly.
But I might want one that is a high risk taker.
Sure. And that's the team aspect that you're talking about, balancing that team and seeing who's playing what role dynamically.
Yeah, so this tool can be used. Many people will think it's just entrepreneurs measuring themselves, but actually that's just a small subset. Like, for example, I would definitely use this tool if I were hiring a sales force, because you want entrepreneurial-minded individuals on your sales force. So just as a component in one of the factors in making hiring decisions, it can be very valuable.
Yeah, the other one from my perspective, because I'm involved in the development world so much, is developers. This is a fantastic tool for hiring developers, because so much of the time you're looking for a unique skill set. Yeah, that's pretty easily measurable. Can they write and read literally in one of these code languages? But you're trying to hire people that think creatively around problems. The better the coder, the more creative solutions they're trying to come up with. And this is a great tool for measuring that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was speaking with a friend who's the head of a major bank, and he was very interested in using this assessment for people that are applying for SBA loans.
Ah, that's a great application.
Yeah, there are many that can be utilized with this, but as a component of hiring decisions. But also, I've spoken with investors that are going to be using this assessment as a component to analyze the team that they're potentially looking at investing in.
Yeah, that's a big one. You know, whether it's institutional money, angel investors themselves, or angel groups, if they're giving money to a team, this is a really, understanding how entrepreneurial they actually are, not just the idea around it, I feel like is a really important part of the selection process.
Yeah, and if I were an entrepreneur looking for money, I would take the assessment and include that in the portfolio that I'm presenting to the investors.
Even if you're just graduating from college, this is a really easy way to stand out.
Something that I've utilized and recommend for entrepreneurship professors is to have the students at the beginning of the semester take the assessment and have the students at the end of the semester take the assessment, and to see what type of growth and distinctions the course has impacted their entrepreneurial tendencies.
Yeah. The other quick thing, just to plug our capabilities around and within this assessment, is if you do have an existing team, measuring the culture of entrepreneurship inside of your company, and then getting us to do some analysis behind that. You have many years of increasing entrepreneurship through activities and the like. So getting us to come in, analyze the assessments, see where the team is standing, and then specifically push that team in specific areas is a huge asset.
Yeah, 90% of the time, if not more, you talk to the C-suite of a company or an organization. I see it in universities also. The C-suite's always saying, we're an entrepreneurial environment. And you go down to middle-level managers, and they're saying, not so much. And you go down to the front line, they're saying, no way. And there's a disconnect there.
Right.
So that type of analysis can help measure the disconnect and can help move the company to a truly entrepreneurial organization versus just saying we are one.
As we've now plugged this for an entire episode, they can head over to janusscore.com, JANUSSCORE.com, and take the assessment. I know we're offering a pretty steep discount at the moment, so have a quick run through. If you like it, recommend it to people.
Yeah, we have it broken up into 3 categories. One is for entrepreneurs, one is for corporate, and the third is for academic, utilizing in classrooms.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add on here?
Now, to say, sounds like a game plan. I encourage everyone to at least go take a look at it.
Yep. And please give us some feedback. Let's practice what we preach.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to our Favorite Tools for Entrepreneurs podcast with Professor Gary Palin and Ryan Budden. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into topics that assist with the launch and growth of your entrepreneurial venture. As always, you can head over to ProfSpirit.com to check out more resources and courses designed for you, the entrepreneur. Also, please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube to get the most up-to-date information as it is released.